You won't believe what Asus did now. This will blow your mind. If your GPU is defective and you send it in for repair, will you get scammed? In this video, we are going to find out. My name is Matt, I'm a former rocket scientist, and my goal is to help you make the right component choices and put them together the right way every single time. In the Is It a Scam Expose series, I plan to shed light on PC tech companies that are committing fraudulent or deceptive acts against our community. In this video, our focus will be on Asus, and in particular their warranty support. If you have an issue with a component and it's past the return window, then your only option is to leverage a manufacturer warranty by submitting a Return Merchandise Authorization, or RMA. This is exactly what I did with my $2,000 ROG Strix RTX 4090 graphics card that I use in my production rig. The problem I experienced was that the screen would randomly go blank and the GPU fans would spin up to 100% without any way to recover. This gradually got more frequent over time, so when it started to happen multiple times a day, I finally decided to submit an RMA with Asus. When I tried to find the Asus RMA website, I did a search for Asus GPU RMA, and I was surprised to see multiple negative Reddit posts pop up. Based on this, I decided to dig a little deeper, so I altered my search to Is Asus RMA a scam? And Is Asus warranty a scam? Unfortunately, it gets much worse, with page after page of posts from angry customers outlining their horror stories with the Asus RMA process. So after reading through many of these stories, I decided it'd be a good idea to thoroughly document my RMA experience, just in case it happened to me. So did I get scammed? Stick around and find out. I think it's important to start by saying I genuinely didn't want to make this video. In fact, in a strange twist of fate, the build I was working on when I received my card back from Asus was actually an ultimate all Asus ultra high-end gaming PC, the one behind me here. I'm a big Asus ROG fan, and I have been for a long time. I love the look and performance of their products. My production PC is a custom all Asus build inside of an ROG Strix Helios chassis, with an ROG Crosshair X670E Extreme motherboard, a Ryzen 9 7950X CPU, and a Strix RTX 4090 OC, the one I ended up returning. My new gaming PC is an all Asus ROG build with ultra high-end ROG components as well. I purchased the ROG Matrix Platinum RTX 4090, a $4,000 GPU, and tested it thoroughly in one of my earlier videos. I rated the ROG Swift PG32 UCDM as my top 4K 240Hz QD OLED pick, and I ordered one from Newegg. I purchased and tested multiple Asus GPUs, including the Tough Gaming RTX 4090 and Tough Gaming RX 7900 XT, and I even rated Asus as the best add-in board partner and brand for NVIDIA GPUs. I don't have any sponsorships or partnerships with Asus, so the components I purchased for my channel were purchased with my own money. So let me repeat again, I genuinely didn't want to make this video. That said, over the past year, Asus has gotten a lot of bad press. Jay from Jay's 2 Cents famously terminated his partnership with them.
Dear Asus, it's been real, but it's over.
Which was followed shortly after by Linus Tech Tips not renewing their sponsorship with Asus for 2024. These are the two largest tech YouTubers publicly stating that they are unwilling to work with Asus. I figured that there was some truth to the issues they described, but honestly, I thought it was simply an attempt to create drama. But when you combine that with the many online posts of customers complaining, you start to rapidly generate an image that something is actually terribly wrong at Asus. When EVGA exited the GPU market, I thought Asus would be the company to step up and take their mantle. I think they did on the engineering side by developing some truly exceptional GPUs, but it appears that they took a big step backwards on the server side of their business. The RMA process at Asus is actually quite straightforward. You first go to their website and enter some data, such as your serial number, and then they generate an RMA and send you an email with return instructions. There is a form that you need to complete describing the issue, and then you package and send your component to one of their service centers. You have to pay to ship the component to them, and they pay for shipping it back to you. This is somewhat reasonable, although I would argue that if their product is found to be faulty, then they should reimburse you for shipping. As I mentioned earlier, before shipping my defective GPU back to Asus, I decided to thoroughly document my experience. So here is what my GPU looked like before I packaged it up to send in for repair. As you can see, it is in absolutely perfect condition without any scratches or blemishes. I used the original box, anti-static bag, and PCIe protective cover to make sure it arrived in perfect condition. I submitted my RMA request on April 8th, I shipped the item out on April 12th, I got confirmation from them that the repair facility received the GPU on April 18th, and I received a replacement card back from them on April 26th. All in all, a relatively quick turnaround. This is what I got back from Asus on April 26th. As you can see, they shipped it back in a box that clearly is not designed to hold a GPU, especially one of this size and weight. The outer shipping box was undamaged and arrived in good condition. The inner box, however, had a large hole on the side. Given that there was bubble wrap on either side of the inner box and that the outer box was not damaged at all, then it's logical to assume that this damage actually occurred at the ASUS repair facility prior to shipping. The card itself was packaged poorly inside what appears to be a motherboard box without any shock absorbing material around the card or a cover on the PCIe slot. When you look at the card, the first thing that stands out is the bent metal PCIe bracket, which would suggest that the inner box was likely dropped, causing a hole in the box and damaging the card. The fact that they still packaged it up and sent it in this condition is truly appalling. Furthermore, the card itself has a lot of scratches on it. Someone has obviously used a marker to try to cover up one deeper scratch. The screws on the backplate were loose, and some of the radiator fins are bent and show signs of damage. To say that I am disappointed is a massive understatement. How can ASUS think that this is acceptable? The reality is I can't even install the card to test it unless I bend the PCIe bracket back into shape, and after it was so obviously poorly treated, I simply don't trust the fact that the card will function reliably for any extended period of time. I'm not just upset, I'm angry. But the question remains, is it a scam? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a scam is defined as a fraudulent or deceptive act or operation. So based on this definition, my experience, and the overwhelming number of complaints online, I would say yes, it is a scam, and I would encourage you to fully document your return if you're forced to use their warranty service. In my case, the ASUS RMA team clearly damaged the replacement card at the factory, but still decided to package it up and send it. That action alone is a deceptive act. But based on the sheer magnitude of online posts, it appears that this type of behavior is commonplace, which would imply they are running a deceptive operation. It appears that the ASUS RMA team either doesn't care about fulfilling their warranty obligations, or worse, is somehow incentivized to deceive customers. Whatever the truth is, this fraudulent behavior is truly unacceptable and needs to stop. So what can we as a community do about it? Moving forward, we can consider alternatives from MSI, Aorus, Corsair, and other brands before buying from ASUS. For example, I had ordered an ROG PG32 UCDM 4K 240Hz QD OLED monitor from Newegg, but I cancelled the order and I placed a new order for the Aorus FO32 U2P instead. This type of dishonest and fraudulent behavior shouldn't be rewarded, and the only way that ASUS will do something about it is if they are impacted financially. We should all applaud Jay and Linus for taking a stand and cancelling their partnerships because they are large enough to really make an impact. To ASUS leadership, how long can you truly afford to scam your customers? You have a valuable brand that gamers love, but this behavior is simply unacceptable and will destroy your brand over time. And as a longtime fan, I am extremely disappointed. Do better. Remember, it's not rocket science, it's Lego. My goal is to help you make the right component choices and put them together the right way every single time. Thank you for watching the first video in the Is It a Scam Exposé series. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And if you would like to support the channel further, please also consider joining our new membership program, which I am super excited about. Bye for now.